Oh, okay, so here's my friend Jess, and as you know, in her video, she talked about the waves of feminism day. She kind of gave you the whole entire like background of the three waves of feminism, like how feminism is formed. I'm pretty sure she talked about them as well. So as you know, with feminism, there are several conflicting, controversial, and very upsetting issues in feminism, and one that I like to talk about is rape culture. As you know, rape culture sucks and it's horrible. It's basically, talking about how like women are sexually assaulted, and I'm quite sure you hear about this on campus. I mean, we've definitely heard about it in like ASU, for example. We have like this huge campus. A lot of people don't think rape culture exists and that there's no perpetuation of rape culture. But when you hear things like, this girl has a mini skirt or like she has this tank top, she must want it, like that's just not acceptable and not cool at all.
Victim blaming and stuff.
Blaming a victim for dressing the way she wants and expressing herself, or going around saying that she's a slut or a whore, or that she gives it up easy because she feels the need to dress the way that she wants to because she's expressing herself and she loves her body, doesn't make it okay for men to rape other women. It's not cool at all. And you hear all these music from like these specifically women, like you hear Iggy talk about like beg for it and how like pussy power and all that kind of stuff, and that doesn't help the movement at all. Or then you have like, we all heard about it, Robin Thicke's blurred lines, that didn't really help the situation either when women were literally getting objectified in his videos. Previous from my rant of rape culture, this does also affect women as well. I'm not sure if you heard recently, but recently in the news, a famous actor named Shia LaBeouf came out and said that he was raped by a woman. Now, this goes to kind of shed light on that this topic is not only exclusive to just women, this also happens to men as well. And I think that's also like, when you hear like men being raped, that's not something that's really talked about. But you have this person named Shia LaBeouf who came on the TV and said, look, I was raped during an art performance. Not only did he do that, but he also came out and put a paper bag over his head and said that he wasn't famous anymore because of it. So, it's kind of like a form of like public shaming ourselves, because this guy who has been, when you hear about a man being raped, you laugh and you shrug it off because it's like, like you're masculine. But then again, that's due to our conventional gender roles that you wouldn't think that a man could be raped, but it's actually like really possible.
Yeah, okay, so it's bad enough that when a woman gets raped, she gets shamed, but she at least gets like court prosecuting, she gets the proceedings that follow. But when Shia LaBeouf came out that he was raped, nobody took him seriously enough for him to follow through with anything. He told people that it happened, and nobody wanted to take his case seriously enough to actually follow with proceedings. So not only was this complete victim blaming, but he was offered absolutely no help. He was laughed off by the media and his fans. And this is a huge problem. Like, as feminists, if you are a feminist or even a decent human being, whether or not you think that he was raped, you should see that this guy is hurting, and be upset. Be upset that the media is treating him this way. Be upset that he didn't even get a fair right to any sort of proceedings or anything. He had absolutely no shot at anything. Okay, so that was our brief video on rape culture. And there are lots of parts of rape culture, and there's constantly new things happening in the media and new things happening in everyday life and new occurrences of rape culture happening all the time, especially with victim blaming. You see it in school districts, you see it in everyday life, you can see it in your friend circles. But as feminists in new age feminism and every wave of feminism, it has been a goal to break up rape culture, and it continues to be a goal. So if you're not a feminist, hopefully this is something you believe in. If you are a feminist, hopefully this is something that you can put along to believe in.
And this is not to say that this is a feminist issue. This is a whole entire world issue, because this is happening like in several countries. This is happening in Africa. This is happening in Europe. This is happening like places we don't even know about. Like we talk about rape culture, but then you could also talk about other topics as well. Like there's trafficking. There's prostitution. You don't have to be a feminist to want to help out and abolish and get rid of this bad stuff in the world. Like, you just have to be human and like recognize that there's equal rights, and that you know, everyone deserves the same rights and no one should be treated less than a human.
Mm-hmm. And if you're not getting the point yet, feminism isn't about giving women power. Feminism is, again, giving women equals rights.
You know, they're not out here to, you know, tear down the patriarchy. You know, when we look at the definition, it's basically, do you support the equal rights of politically, economically, and socially of women? And that's what it all boils down to. And you support that right then, there's your equality right then. And I'm pretty sure that's what every other minority group wants in reality. They're not here to take over, you know, the white population, or to like take over the, you know, the Aryan race, or to like make a whole new world. No, they just want the same rights that our founding fathers gave to us several hundreds of decades ago.
Several hundreds of decades ago. Alright, well, thank you for watching your video. We have one more coming up. I don't know how many more we have coming up. But thank you for watching your video.
Right. I was trying not to get mad. You can edit this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.